Alrighty, we are going to get started on the front. With this, we will be attaching along here, along the sleeve, and then the back, the bottom portion. You'll see it when we get to it. I've already marked my center stitches. This will not be worked because this will be like the back of the neck. So when we start the right front, we start here. To start, you want to take your slip knot and pull it to the front side of your work, or the right side. And then put your hook in. Now, if you want to adjust that loop, definitely do that now. And you want to make sure that you pick the right spot. Make sure that this is actually along the sleeve and not the row that you will be working in. So to start, just like we've done before, you're going to make a Tunisian simple stitch. Now I'm going to move that tail out of the way. We're going to yarn over, skip the next stitch, TSS into the next one, yarn over, skip the next stitch, and just continue as you've done before. Make sure, no, you don't do that. I don't know what that did, but it looked like it had added a loop. Okay, there we go. So work until you get to your stitch marker. Your stitch marker, that is where you will place your end stitch, okay? And if, depending on the number, if you need to, you'll still yarn over, and then that last Tunisian simple stitch becomes your new end stitch. And if you need a different number, make sure you do a Tunisian simple stitch and then end stitch, okay? And then you do your return pass, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And when you get to the end of your return pass, you will remove your hook, okay? Remove your hook. Excuse me. You now want to take your hook and insert it from back to front, just like this. Put your loop back on the hook and pull that to the back. So yes, this first loop can seem loose, but you can kind of pull that out of the way and you can secure it later. So this first one, imagine this is the seam, which is why you don't have to worry about it, because we normally don't work in that first stitch. This is a simple stitch, so we're going to yarn over and then make a modified Tunisian simple. Yarn over, skip this stitch, modified TSS. So continue in pattern, make your end stitch, return pass. Continue to do that. Again, we're making rows that will become the shoulder with no increases, okay? And once you have completed all of those, I will show you how we make the increase, because we are going to do 1 increase per row, because 1 increase adds 2 stitches, which maintains the odd stitch count. The only difference per size is, will you work 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows in between the rows with the increases? That way it's even. And if you don't know what that means, that's okay. I'll explain it more when we get to that part. So continue to make your rows without any increases, following your established pattern, and then we will move on to our increases. I have my first shoulder, and it is normal for these rows to be taller than this way, because again, we were going this direction, now we're going this way. It's okay, because what this does is actually create a little more fabric at the front, which is important for those with a larger chest circumference, okay? So we have our rows, and again, if you want to make yours longer, please do that. If you want to change your neck, do that. Just be mindful of your starting stitches so that you know to make an extra increase or 2, depending on how much you change it, okay? Again, it's not going to break anything. But on to the increase. This is really simple. I did not specify where to put it at because it doesn't have to be in any particular place. I would just suggest to not put it here and to not put it here. So you can pick anywhere else along the row. So when we work our increases, again, each increase adds 2 stitches. So if you want to have a more dramatic angle to your front, you could do 2 increases in one row, but that just means you'll do fewer total rows of increases. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just follow the pattern. So we are going to continue in the pattern. All right. Oop. If I can untangle that. There we go. Yarn over, mod TSS, yarn over. So I'm actually going to put my first increase right here in the middle. So after you make your yarn over, we would skip this stitch and then mod TSS in the next, right? So instead, we're going to actually work in this space right here, where my finger is, right there. So to make your increase, you just insert your hook front to back, yarn over, pull up a loop. That's a Tunisian full stitch. Now, this would be a full stitch followed by a Tunisian simple. So you actually want to yarn over so that you can maintain the pattern and then mod TSS, just like you normally would. So this is the increase right there. That's it. That's all there is to it. So continue, right? You get to the end, you do your end stitch, and then make your return pass. And you'll notice when you get to your increase, the stitches are just a little closer together, but make sure it's still yarn over pull through 2. You do not change the return pass, okay? All right, so let's look at that. So this is the increase here, right? So follow the diagonal, and it's right here. That's it. And so when you do more rows, it'll have a new diagonal. And you won't even notice unless you're looking really, really closely. And you continue to Jago, which is joining as you go by pulling the loop to the wrong side, right? Using 1 stitch. This is why I was saying earlier to loosely slip stitch, okay? And you'll continue in pattern. You'll have at least 1 row in between the increases so that you can see, and here we are, right? So we're just going to continue in pattern. We skip this, we yarned over, skip this. It is a little closer, so it helps to kind of pull your fabric apart so you can make sure that you make your modified Tunisian simple stitch in the right spot. Yarn over, skip the vertical bar, and then mod. Oh, I have split the yarn. That's okay. We're going to make it work. And then just continue. Get to the end stitch, and then return pass. So follow the pattern. Again, if it will state increase in every 3rd row 4 times. That means if you are starting on row 11, you make it increase in every 3rd row. That means no increase on 12 or 13. Increase on row 14, because that's the 3rd row, right? If we start at 11, then 12, 13, 14, 3rd row. Increase on 3rd row 4 times. So that's 14. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 4 times. If it says increase on every 5th row, then you increase and then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5th one gets the increase. But this is why I included the row numbers. So definitely keep up with the rows, okay? Whether that's a paper tracker, tally marks, you have like a digital one, whatever works for you. Keep up with the row numbers. If you find it confusing to say every third row or every fourth row, just follow the row numbers, okay? Because if we started out the same, then we'll be the same. And if you changed it, then just make notes. Just make notes for yourself if you added more rows before the increases, okay? But continue to make your increases working along the sleeve, and then I will show you what to do once we get to this point. Okay, I have my piece laid flat so that it's easier to see. This is where we started. We have our section without increases, then we did our increases. The increases are not done, but I wanted to show you what you do when you get to this point when you have connected the last row. This is where it can be helpful to have stitch markers or even clips if you want. Once you have used all of the rows along the sleeve, including that starting chain one, like I said, you can use a stitch marker or a clip like so. I move my stitch marker from the neck to here to ensure, because if you need to, flip your work to make sure that you don't miss the space from when we made that extension. Try not to lose your loop. But we're going to continue as we were. And again, you want to make sure you use the right one so that you don't take a stitch from the sleeve, which we will deal with later. So insert your hook back to front, pull the loop through. It will create a bit of a gap here, but we can deal with that when we seam the sleeve. And then you're going to continue in pattern. So we're going to yarn over, skip the first one, mod TSS, and so on. And you'll just continue to J-go before you start the row, or if you're thinking about at the end of your return pass, you're going to go all the way down. And again, continue increases if you need to. And if your piece is as wide as it needs to be, that you have your stitch count, again, count those loops on your hook for the forward pass. Once you have all of your increases, you'll stop increasing and you just go straight down. And we have the right front done. Yay! It is totally normal. This was designed to have more fabric at the front than the back. It's a more comfortable fit and it prevents a lot of that extra fabric that happens at the back. So if you fold it like so, and I'm making a button version for my daughter. Actually, they both want button versions. It is normal for it to come across. The other one will do that. There you have it. That is your right front. We are now going to do the same on the left side after we fasten off. Now, you could bind off if this makes you nervous, but when we finish the left side and then move to below the waist to make the length, we're going to work our way all the way around. And so to prevent a seam, we're going to actually leave this. We're just going to leave a generous tail to weave in later. So cut that. Just pull it through to secure. And this is going to come to the back. And ta-da! All done.